This G-Cube gas. There are a lot of pictures, but I would like to focus on this picture, which just show, compared to SF6, that this G-Cube can reach the same dielectric properties as SF6. That means we will use this gas in combination with CO2, and then with the 20% percentage of this gas together with CO2, we have exactly the same dielectric behavior as SF6. This is the first point. The second point of this new gas is also that it's good for braking properties. We have performed a lot of braking tests in the breakers, and we can show that all the classical, conventional test sequences of the breaker are successful with this gas. So we can answer, yes, this gas can substitute SF6. Once again, this gas is a mixture of this G-Cube and CO2. What is also important is that we have performed a lot of different tests with disconnectors. You know that during disconnector operation there is some sparks, and the SF6 would lead to, let's say, break the sparks or to quench the sparks, and we have to check that this with this G-Cube is also the case, which has been clearly shown that we have exactly the same behavior, SF6 or G-Cube in a disconnector during opening and closing operation of the disconnector. So to summarize, G-Cube is good for dielectric, G-Cube is good for braking properties, G-Cube can substitute SF6 in breaker and in disconnectors. Of course, from gas insulated lines or bus ducts in GIs, G-Cube can fit also. This is the case of this bus duct, which has been designed for G-Cube, and this is really the same as SF6 with the same pressure level, around 6 bars, and yes, we can say now G-Cube is ready and can substitute SF6. So the question is, okay, G-Cube is good, but what about environmental aspects? And if we look at G-Cube compared to SF6, we do diminish, we reduce the environment impact by 98%, which is a lot, 98% of CO2 reduction, or CO2 equivalent reduction. Let's have a look on GIs. This is a 145 kV GIs filled with SF6. We have 60 kg of SF6, which does represent 1,400 equivalent CO2 with SF6. So 60 kg of SF6, the equivalence is 1,400 tons of equivalent CO2. If we now substitute this SF6 by G-Cube, this 1,400 tons is reduced down to 27 tons, which means an environmental impact which is reduced by 98%, which is really a breakthrough. Means that we can have an environmental impact which is reduced by 98% when we compare G-Cube to SF6. This is really a breakthrough, because it does mean that our switchgear can be now without any environmental aspect. And you know that this, let's say, global warming potential was the main concern of the customers, especially in these countries which are really on the edge of the environmental protection. And using this G-Cube, we have really downsized the environmental effects. If I look on the other side, these are huge gas insulated lines. Huge means it can be up to 15 kilometers. And we have just made this example. 420 kV GI. This is an example of Emirates. The SF6 quantity is 73 tons. If you convert this 73 tons of SF6 into CO2 equivalent, then we reach this huge value of 1,600 kilotons, which is a huge contribution. And then, by just replacing this by G-Cube, we reduce this 1,600 to 33. Once again, the environmental impact is reduced by 98%. So this is clearly what is shown there, 98% of environmental impact reduction. This is a revolution, or a breakthrough in, let's say, switchgear technology, leading to green switchgear in the future.